Are we live?
We should be.
Wala pang gumagalaw
Yes,
ng
we are.
baso. Okay. Kumusta yung stream?
We're here.
Okay.
Wala pa si
Sure.
Bruce eh. And the Bill is
Right,
here.
hey!
Di counted si Emil, puta. Tulog ka nga, Emil. May sakit ka eh.
Okay,
Next
Glendale,
doctor.
the
Glendale.
official. And
Nina
Tita
Abby's
Abby.
here.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Abby and Glendale are the first people officially in the
Mga
stream.
early birds natin.
Emil doesn't count.
Tulog ka nga, puta.
But we appreciate everybody being here. Emil, go to bed.
Ginagawa tayong pampatulog.
Diyan ka kasi. Ayan, tuloy. Ginagawa tayong pampatulog.
Wow.
Good evening, sirs. How are the Outcasts doing this fine evening?
Hello, Aoi. Congrats, or, I don't know. Are you happy about being unemployed?
Parang masaya siya. Parang masaya siya. So, congrats.
Glendale, no,
Glendale.
I'm glad you brought that up. Our 10th anniversary is coming soon. So, baka dun natin ipopromote yung consequence ni Rowan.
Okay, good. Kasi ang sikip sa kwarto ko and that's
Oh,
impossible.
thank God. Yeah. So now you're going to have to do it in front of an audience.
You
No,
rather
Rowan,
do it
lahat
in
ng
front
to.
of an audience? Wait, is that the thing? You want to do it in front of an audience?
Yung
I'm
pala
used to
inintay
it.
niya eh, no?
See, Ina has a
Used to it.
question here that I think I'm the only one who can answer. But
Ah.
if you guys can answer it, go for it. Kaya nyo ba? Do you see
I
the
cannot.
question? You
Yes,
cannot?
I do. I cannot.
Well, okay.
I cannot.
Teka,
Yeah.
ako lang. Ikaw, Ro, kaya mo sagutin?
I mean, my girlfriend's family works with
Okay.
you in the PVL.
With my dad.
With your family, with
Correct.
your dad, yeah.
With my dad. Yes.
But I cannot
So,
answer it
okay.
as well.
Yeah, ako lang sorry nanonood ng volleyball dito, Ina. Omos be my middle blocker. He's pretty tall.
Tanginan, ang daya.
Bakit? Pwede naman yun eh.
Wala bang height limit?
Ba- Wala kang height limit sa volleyball. Pwede naman yun. Ano, madaya dun. So far, siya agad yung pumasok sa utak ko eh, because he used to play basketball too. So
Glendale, how do you want the result of your last match if you're a wrestler? What do you mean last match? Mamatay na ako? And that's my last match?
it depends though, right? Like, is this like your Ric Flair last match where he has 5 of those still, or last na wala na talaga?
I mean, if you followed wrestling for any amount of time, anyone would know that if it's your last match, you're supposed to lose. Kasi, syempre, what does that do for the person beating you?
Actually, that's true.
Question for everyone. So, I'm pretty sure everyone has watched The Iron Claw. So,
No, I have
No,
not.
Rowan, no, I have not.
Okay,
Okay,
ako pa
well,
lang. So
the-
just
pero
ask me
here's
off
the que-
air.
No, here's a question. If there's gonna be a movie about you, sino gaganap?
Okay.
So, question for everyone.
So walang, okay. You didn't,
Wala
akala
siyang
ko naman
kinalaman sa
spoilers.
Iron Claw. Pero
Oh,
sige.
akala ko
Okay.
spoiler sa Iron Claw. Eh.
Oh,
Hindi pala. Nag-react kayo agad kayo naman, no? Hindi pala spoiler
Anyway.
sa Iron Claw.
John
I'll have the
Leguizamo,
guy who
Gata.
plays Frenchie, so the boys.
Ah, that guy. Yes, yes. Give me Steven Yun.
Ako siguro, si Jonah Hill.
Which Jonah Hill?
And
The
why
fat
did you make
Jonah Hill,
yourself
of
white?
course.
Actually, why did
Not the
both of you make yourselves white?
Ewan ko. Who cares?
Who cares? It's a hypothetical.
Is it Steven Yun Korean?
Asian pa rin,
yeah,
kahit pa paano.
question?
10 seconds.
Tangina, yun, mas malala, Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, shut up.
Layo sa ang itsura.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to you.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Adam!
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening... And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are listening and you're watching the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Romoran, Chino Liao, Rowan SH, all checking in for our usual Thursday live stream, and it's great to see everyone again. I've been out for 2 weeks dito sa live stream because of work, so it just feels good to see everyone again. And for those of you who've been used to seeing the studio in the background, the studio has been officially dismantled because I am moving out in a few weeks. So dito muna tayo, back to my bedroom where we started this whole live stream thing on the podcast. How is everyone doing on our second to the last Thursday of February?
What a year, huh? What a year. God, wala pa rin. It's a mess. Like it's only February, but everything's a mess. TNA is a mess. Everything's a mess.
It's better than 2020, guys. Let's just look at it that way.
That's a great point. Yeah,
it's better than 2020.
Rowan, outside of your consequence, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. My calves are gonna explode. I've been commuting every single day of my life. Boy estudiante, I mean, it's normal.
Yep.
Good to know that it's your legs and not the Cleveland Cavaliers, because for a second I was like, when did you follow the Cavs? But thank you for clarifying. So at least alam natin na you're burning something kahit papano as your calves are on their way to exploding on you.
True.
All right, we are a couple of nights away, literally 2 sleeps away from Elimination Chamber Perth. It is happening on Saturday, February 24, the very first ever WWE PLE in our time zone. So that is happening 6 p.m. Manila time, meaning start time natin. But of course, the viewing party is on. Let's put up the poster. Maybe. No. Yun. Am I back? I should be back.
Yep.
There.
Yep.
There's the poster. Go join us at Skinny Mike's. 5:30 p.m. Is the advertised time. Pero like 5 p.m. pa lang, we should be opening doors already. You can still get your early bird tickets at 350 pesos a pop. You get a free iced tea. For the walk-ins on the day itself, 450 pesos each. May kasama din yung iced tea. And our friends from Everybody's Toys and Collectibles have committed to giving away a Cody Rhodes t-shirt. So, di pa natin napopost on social media because they just finalized that last night. So, if you want to get yourself a Cody Rhodes t-shirt courtesy of Everybody's Toys and Collectibles, go join us. May paraffle tayo ulit. We're about to close the early bird sales as well. So, we are down to our last 7 tickets for the early birds. And then kung nasaraduan kayo or naubos na by midnight, everyone will just have to buy the walk-in ticket. So, again, Elimination Chamber Perth this Saturday, 6 p.m. if you want to catch it live on Disney Plus, or if you want to watch it with us at Skinny Mike's BGC, we'll be there as early as 5 or 5:30 p.m. All right, last couple of housekeeping duties. Let's start with the Patreon row.
Patreon program, guys. If you want to support everything that we do, syempre, I know you guys are fans. Some of you are, loyal fans, loyal WWP fans, and you want to, give us a little appreciation for what we do here, whether it's creating content or, giving you your favorite takes or your takes that you can process with. All you got to do is sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/wrestling podcast. Babyface producer Jasper has put up the ticker down there. All you got to do is subscribe for only $5 or around 275 pesos. Medyo bumababa na ang dollar. And you get really good benefits and perks like access to our Discord community where we'll be doing some non-WWE pay-per-view watch parties. Revolution is coming up in a couple of weeks. So, alam nyo na, we'll be doing that there, especially with Emil's high-powered setup for streaming that made it a lot better than what we were doing before. And syempre, you also have preferential rates for pasabays. when we do our next pasabay, probably in a couple of weeks before WrestleMania, pero hindi na inaabot ng WrestleMania because bago pa lang mag-WrestleMania, delay na yung Fanatics. You get better rates than our non-Patreon customers. So, if you want to get your authentic merch from WWE Shop, Shop AEW, Pro Wrestling Tees, Roots of Fight, Ripple Junction, anywhere else that you may find and stumble into wrestling merch and tanggap ang credit card namin, we can do that for you at a much slightly cheaper cost pala. And other benefits include Rowan's tea of the local scene, care of his his benefactor here in the chat. You also get to school Emil on the 2000 stuff that he doesn't know about and other things. You can also read reviews and get some advanced content every now and then. Kunyari, if we do some pretty big interviews with big names. So maraming random ganaps then that you can get from being a Patreon patron. And again, the link is patreon.com/wrestling podcast. $5, 275 pesos. Please do support us if you can, whenever you can. You don't have to, subscribe long term. You want to, say thanks for what we do for 1 or 2 months. Okay lang yan. We understand that everyone has different circumstances, and we're not pressuring anyone to give what they can't give.
Yeah. Let's get some happy row noises on. Let's promote WWE on Blast TV.
Blast TV! All right. WWE on Blast TV, guys. I've been watching Raw on it lately. Siyempre, SmackDown, NXT. If you can have time for this, all you gotta do is go to app.blasttv.ph. Kung meron kang Converge, kung meron kang Globe, it is free. Everyone else has to pay like 189 pesos a month. But that's really, really cheap for everything that you want to watch because they got like the fast movies. You want another reason to boo The Rock or whatever. You want to watch Usher's halftime show at Super Bowl. A lot of these different stuff available. And syempre may UFC din, may NFL din, di ba? Kung ano na pa, may football, may soccer, and a whole bunch of things that they are giving away for us. You don't have to pirate this shit anymore, right? And if you don't watch it, they'll take it away. And mawawala kayo ng source for legit and up-to-date wrestling content. And I know some people are asking, where can I watch Raw? Where can I watch SmackDown? You don't have to go to YouTube and watch the highlights. You can watch it here on Blast TV. Again, app.blasttv.ph. Lance, you're correct. I won't repeat that, but you are correct.
All right, thank you very much. One more thing we need to get to. We're
Rana,
actually
Emil,
recording.
Sorry, Emil, don't. Shut up, man. Shut up. Don't ruin it for everyone.
Be cool, Emil.
Basta may Raw sa Blast TV. Nandun naman dati. Nagkamali lang yun, pero nandun naman siya dati.
Daming reklamo, ang puta.
Emil, may sakit ka na nga eh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, shut up, Emil. Okay. Before we get to our first topic for the evening, we're actually recording our episode 700 tonight. So it's either this one or the next or the audio only na i-record natin tonight. One of those will be episode 700. So another landmark milestone, but we're going to save all the celebrating for April when we do our 10th anniversary party. So as early as now, we would like to see you there. Yes, Emil. Yes, Rowan. 10 years. Perfect way to celebrate the Wrestling podcast coming soon this April. Okay, we're gonna start with some mess kasi sabi nga ni Ro ang aga-aga, may kalat na ulit. TNA has gotten pretty messy over the last few days. So we know that Scott D'Amore got fired sometime last week, and in the time since, nag-mass tweet yung roster. Even Tommy Dreamer, who is now the head of creative, or one of the bosses over in creative, now that Scott D'Amore is no longer there. And a lot of them are tweeting the hourglass emoji. Apparently, may meaning pa yan. Like, there's a difference between the two hourglasses, which I learned because of LeBron James's cryptic hourglass tweet from several weeks ago when the Lakers lost to the Atlanta Hawks. So apparently, kapag yung sand mas marami pa rin sa taas, it means na, okay, parang, we know that time is about to run out. Pero yung kay Speedball Mike Bailey, his hourglass, the sand is all the way down, which means time's up. So clearly, all of these guys, all of these talent from TNA, may pinapahiwatig sila. But at the same time, Anthem, the parent company of TNA, has extended Josh Alexander's contract. And now there are rumors na baka raw magka-mass exodus ang TNA. So Chino, what do you think about this as the resident TNA fan?
It's sabi ni Ro before we started that it's funny how TNA gets its own share of the things we talk about on a weekly basis now. And it's funny because every time we talk about TNA on here, parang never naging maganda. As a TNA fan, it kind of sucks for me to have to talk about internal disputes and supposed mass leavings from a company that I have actually grown to enjoy, diba? It hasn't always been it's the best, but it's actually wrestling that I find consumable and I find watchable. Na pag wala kang ginagawa, it's just nice to have on, right? I don't know what that says about me or the product, pero neither here nor there. What I want to say though is before this even happened, talent and the people in TNA actually wrote a letter to Anthem expressing their displeasure. The letter was a big deal here kasi doon daw nag-start yung mag-tweet nila or even before they started tweeting the hourglasses. Anthem really just like, okay, hindi nag-tweet kayo letter. That's how they reacted to the whole thing. So ang nangyari dyan is hindi sineryoso nung company yung threat of the people jumping ship to other companies and leaving TNA out to dry, which sucks because it's a company that just rebooted, right? They recently just renamed themselves and promised everybody all these things, and now all their big stars. You got former champions tweeting hourglasses. Tapos napilitan sila gawin kay Josh Alexander, yung mga ayaw natin nakikita sa WWE side of things where they extend contracts because of injuries and whatnot. It sucks. It's just a thing that we don't want to see, especially from a company that was supposedly set up for good things or big things in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that Glendale and I share the same thoughts here kasi yun din yung nilagay kong nasa bullets ko na this whole thing is like when Tape Incorporated got rid of Tito Vic and Joey, and syempre umalis na rin yung the rest of the co-hosts ng Itbulaga out of galit sa Tape and out of loyalty sa TVJ. So the hourglass emoji that we've been seeing the wrestlers tweet, it's most likely a sign of mass exodus. Kasi Scott D'Amore, first of all, is the reason that made TNA watchable and the reason why TNA stayed alive. As for Josh Alexander's contract being extended naman by Anthem exercising the rights, it reminds me of that time when WWE re-signed Rey Mysterio without Rey re-signing. So it's a wild concept for me back then hearing na hala pwede pala yun na a company will have the right to extend an employee's contract.
Mm-hmm. Ro, you and I have been part of a mass exodus. How does this make you feel seeing another company that might have its own mass exodus in 2024?
First of all, it's pronounced Damore. It rhymes with adore. So, ayusin nyo. Second of all,
Okay.
it sucks on the wrestler's part. Kasi yun nga sabi ni Chino, okay na nga siya, okay na nga siya. 'Di ba? Tapos i-screw over pa kayo ng management na hindi naman kasing galing ni Scott D'Amore. And the other thing, I don't know if we've talked about this, but the reason why they wanted to make a power play was because Anthem felt Scott D'Amore was spending too much money on the talent he was bringing in. But if you were bringing in guys like Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali and whoever else, Okada, diba? Okay yun kasi the investment is getting returned. So that's
CSJ.
yeah, but I don't care if at some point, yes, you're losing money, but you're in this for the long haul. You're in this for the long-term play. So that's what sucks. And I don't want to see them have to do a mass exodus, pero it goes to show then how well beloved and how trusted Scott D'Amore was by the entire roster as the guy who ran the show. So I don't know kung lahat sila ng buong roster nag-tweet ng hourglass. I don't know if also the veteran talent was in on this. I guess there'll also be lines drawn who's going to be the company guy, who's going to be the company fall guy here. who's gonna be the one that they anoint as their guy, and uh who's gonna turn on the boys and the girls. May ganun palagi eh. It's the reason why there's no union in WWE, because the top guys are protected and they want to give back to the management for putting them in that position. So may ganun eh. Is Josh Alexander going to be that guy? We don't know. Hopefully not. I hope he, he stands with the rest in solidarity to bring back Scott D'Amore. Kasi, I mean, for all intents and purposes, si Scott D'Amore naman yung nagpaka main event kay Josh Alexander, diba? So we'll see. I don't want this to have to be bad for TNA, right? So it just sucks that corporate America has struck again.
Yeah. We started 2024 with Chino, most especially, being very optimistic towards TNA given the rebrand, and then this happens. So, does it ever drive you crazy just how fast the night changes? All right, let's cross over to AEW now, where we've got news on a new hire in Jennifer Pepperman. She's a former WWE writer. She's now the Vice President of Content Development sa AEW. And yung sabi-sabi ng balita is that she will be helping with creative on all AEW TV. And meron ding speculations na this might have something to do with the hiring of Mercedes Moné and the fact na close daw sila ni Jennifer Pepperman, or at least they have a good working relationship. And of course, yung alam naman natin na yung struggle ni Tony Khan to book the women into meaningful storylines on television. So we'll start with you, Rowan. What do you think about this one?
Okay, so this is the first time I've heard about this woman. Pero after a quick research, I learned one of her contributions in WWE, that is being the writer for the women's division over on SmackDown. And I think it will be a huge help for TK and AEW kasi para hindi na maging messy yung storylines, or in order for some storylines to have a reason why it's existing and why it just ends, or para maiwasan na nila yung storyline would end all of a sudden without any good ending. Pero since this woman wrote for the women's division over in WWE, and since there's been rumors nga na Mercedes is coming to AEW, maybe ito na nga yung hinahanap nating susi para sa pagpapaganda ng women's division ng AEW. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino, your thoughts on this?
Yes, people can change, guys. If they tell you that they can't change, just look at Tony Khan. He hired a writer. Oh my God, in the year of our Lord 2024, Tony Khan passed creative onto somebody else. Oh my, the fact that he was able to do that, I don't know if Mercedes stipulated this in her contract, but the fact that he was able to do that just gives me so much hope for the women's division. The previous Dynamite, today's Dynamite wasn't so bad. You got Tony Storm, you got DR Parazzo versus Madison Rayne, which was actually pretty good. Pero yung consistency niya to do that from here on out is actually pretty questionable until I got news of this hiring. Now, I hope this doesn't just apply to Mercedes Moné na parang may sarili siyang writing team. I hope it does apply to everybody else on the women's roster kasi ang dami nilang talent doon na hindi nagagamit. So only time will tell. I mean, nag-hire siya ng writer, who's to say he doesn't hire another writer? Or who's to say he hires like somebody who's better at PR than him, diba? Only Tony Khan, man, what a transformation. All the best, Tony Khan. All the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let it be said that hashtag Ro was right. I said that when or if Tony Khan was going to hire Mercedes Moné, he was going to have to make adjustments to the way he booked women. And the fact he hired someone to help him book, I don't know if Jennifer Pepperman's going to help him book in general, kasi yung job title niya is to help with the TV shows, yung job description niya. So, yes, there's a rumor that close to the ni Sasha, but if you're already helping, you might as well help everywhere. So there's that. So for this one, I hope that that means they're gonna also devote more than one match slot to the women, which I already saw from the last episode of Collision. Pero syempre sana magtuloy-tuloy yan. Not just because, they wanted to run a Deonna Purrazzo and Tony Storm match back to back, right? So, yun, it's great. I yun nga, Chino's right. People can change. I like that about Tony Khan. He knew that he had to make this change in order to sign one of the biggest names in free agency right now. So, may pag-asa pa mga friends.
Yeah, hopefully we get more than just back-to-back matches, with the first one being a squash match. That's what we got kanina. I mean, like, sure, Tony Storm was in the match, but it was a squash match. So it was what, 2-3 minutes max, and then
It was a public
Deonna,
workout.
I guess. But like it was, alam mo yun, like it was like 3 minutes.
That's what she called it, though, right?
Yeah, it was a public workout.
Yeah. But we
No,
do
I
want
mean,
more
that's fine. The
meaningful
squash
time
is
and
fine.
segments for the women.
I like squash match.
I think the Madison Rain Deonna Purrazzo match made up for it at least. So, gusto ko naman yun.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sige, before we go to break, let's address one of these questions from Nico, who's from Dumaguete. Sabi niya, first time daw niyang umattend ng watch party because he's new in Manila. So what should he expect? Oh, kayo, Rowan.
Yung sayaw ni
One
Rowan.
thing- well,
That's the
one
top
thing
one.
one thing you will not have to expect is cosplayers trying to steal the show by making entrances. Di nyo kailangan i-expect yun, mga friends. Kasi
Dear
ito,
God.
WWE show lang ang papanoorin natin, hindi mga ibang
Yeah.
tao. So,
And
yun.
people trying to put
But
themselves
really,
over.
yeah. Itong si Glendale, bullshit to. It's not his first time at one of these things. You've been to a WWP event. I know it's not the watch party, but it's still one of our events. So we're just here to have a good time. We're just here to watch the shows. You expect it to be, you're part of the crowd, but you're not at the arena. Yun lang. You're watching with other people, and then you have food, you have drinks. May libre tayong iced tea sa Skinny Mike's, and since dinner time naman siya, alam mo yun, pwede kang mag-order ng food. Masarap naman yung food doon, di ba? Yeah. It's really just having a lot of fun with your fellow wrestling fans. You want to start a chant? Start a chant. Sure. You want to, boo or cheer loudly. Get lost in the moment with your fellow fans. Yun,
Walang
that's pretty much what
bardagulan.
you expect. Yeah.
Wag ka lang magdadala ng belt. Yun lang.
Bawal lang magdala ng belt. Yun lang.
Yeah. Mostly a sausage fest, but there are some female wrestling fans who also come to our events. So,
Yeah. Itong si Adore. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Adore.
Did we forget that she was a woman? What's happening here?
Adore will be there. So yeah, there you go. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the WWE, specifically yung mga big events coming out of Monday Night Raw. Plus, later on in the show, Elimination Chamber, Perth predictions. But first, a quick word from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Lapagan na raw ng mga masasarap sa menu ng Skinny Mike's.
I just want to acknowledge Iger and Carlo Elijah. Y'all get it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. To quote DJ Khaled, I appreciate you. You know what it is. I acknowledge you because you acknowledge us. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the WWE, starting off with Jimmy Uso, who has now cost Jay a Grand Slam. And I credit this to somebody on Twitter who posted this graphic of all of the titles that Jimmy has cost Jay over the last year. So the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, the Tag Team Championship, and syempre, yung Universal Championship. So with this latest one, I think it's safe to say now, with like 6 weeks away from WrestleMania XL, we're getting Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso. So Rowan, satisfied ka na ba sa development ng story na to?
Yes, actually. But first, I just want to appreciate Jay versus Gunther. It was a great match. I was convinced that Jay was gonna win until his brother interfered. So, pero itong interference na to, not only it made the finish interesting, but also yung road to WrestleMania nila ni Jay. And clearly the reason why Jimmy has been disrupting the matches of Jay is because he's jealous of Jay's success. Jimmy returning to the bloodline is, well, it's pampalubag loob na lang, or like it's more of like his the best for him na, pero the way we see it, it's like the second best. It's the best for him to stay relevant, while his brother doesn't need the bloodline to be over with the crowd. So etong development, medyo may kulang pa, pero I'm kind of satisfied the way I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino, Jay versus Jimmy, with everything we've seen, is it enough for you to justify this WrestleMania matchup?
Yeah, definitely. It's a blood feud. Like a literal blood feud. Kasi magkapatid sila and one of them is trying to screw the other one. Ito yung jealous brother syndrome. I don't know if you guys have siblings, but if you have brothers, you'll know na minsan may bangayan yan within the family. And this is just that same example amplified to a WrestleMania level kind of feud, which is nice because it makes it relatable, diba? They're going to focus on telling the story of how what the younger brother is trying to outshine the older brother, quote unquote, or how they are trying to, try the younger brother's trying to turn his back on family. Yada yada yada. Yes, we've seen it before, pero it's nice that we're getting a nice little bow on top of it. Gusto ko lang mangyari sana pag natatapos to, hindi sila maging tag team ulit because they're doing so well on their own. And for them to just reunite after all of this in one way or another, parang it just throws the entire story out the window.
It's like that weird thing yung nagbati agad si Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy the same year Jeff was leaving the WWE. Sana wag ngang ganun.
Ano, nagbati agad. Ang puta.
Not the bastos way,
no,
come on, man.
no, I don't mind this. Like people have been asking, "Where's the build up? Where's the build up?" I mean, like, no, what build up do you need? The guy turned on his brother just before he was winning, just before he was about to win the big championship. Like, I know if you forgot about that, that's a you problem, not a Jay or Jimmy problem. But Jay was busy moving on, and then Jimmy was not. That's all the build up I need. Like, I don't know if it's because this is how I see the story and this is how I see the storytelling, but to kasi, like, I knew that they were coming back to this. Like, you put it in the back seat, you put it in the back burner kasi, alam mo yun, Jimmy was busy kissing up to his cousin, diba? But I didn't forget. Maybe you did, but I did not. Like, I knew that this was coming around the corner. So this was me being satisfied. Na, okay, finally, tutuloy na natin. Kasi, as Carla Elijah said here in the tawag doon, in the chat, he said that sana i-explain na lang ni Jimmy bakit siya bumalik sa bloodline. That's what I'm waiting for. Ito yung hinihintay ko, because doing this feud means that I'll finally get this explanation, right? Kasi they put it on hold for way too long.
Yeah, parang yun na lang yung kulang natin, di ba?
Yeah, just to answer Pau Castro real quick in the chat, Bronson did not get done dirty. Bronson Reed specifically requested to be left off the Elimination Chamber Perth card because his wife is about to give birth. So let's stop the slander about Bronson Reed.
Yeah, to be fair, Bronson's actually being the good dad here and the good human being by choosing to be there for the birth of his child.
Iger, sorry.
Yeah.
Iger, Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day for the Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. We talked about this last week.
Say what's up to Hobby Dainsy, one of our friends from Geek Talk PH, who's here in the chat. Sana, he will be there sa Skinny Mike. So kung follower kayo ni Hobby Dainsy sa TikTok.
Mimigay din siya ng t-shirt sa
talaga?
viewing part. Yes, I talked about this. Hey. He is also giving away, he is raffling a t-shirt on Saturday. So please, antabayanan yan. Kaya pumunta na kayo. It's an Undertaker boot. It's an Undertaker shirt.
Daming magpapaulan ng prizes. Di lang si Everybody's Toys and Collectibles, pati rin pala si Hobby Dainsy. All right, let's talk about Drew McIntyre now. Also on Monday Night Raw, nakita natin na after Drew flipped the switch and turned heel because of all of the bloodline interference in his matches and affairs over the last year. Plus, now he's the beneficiary of said bloodline interference, and it seemed like he was all too happy to just pick up the win over Cody Rhodes after ispike ni Solo Sikoa yung lalamunan ni Cody. So what do you think about Drew McIntyre going from being the hard-hitting home truth teller that Nathan Fraser's wanted to be to now being the guy who willingly accepts the Bloodline's help? Even though it's not necessarily like a gift for Drew, it was more of against Cody siya, and then Drew being the one against Cody in the match, siya yung naging recipient ng tulong nila. Let's start with you, Rowan.
So I think what drove Drew crazy is singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." Pero okay, all jokes aside, to summarize the whole thing, Drew benefiting from the bloodline interference. There's a quote somewhere there that says, "It's only funny when it happens to others." So it's not exactly funny, pero from Drew's perspective, it's okay if it's his match to win if the bloodline interferes, pero rather than the other way around. So that's the only way I can summarize this whole situation here. And this also gives him more confidence on the way to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And if he wins that, then he can go on to main event or face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino, we heard it on commentary na Michael Cole was actually calling out yung hypocrisy ni Drew, and even Drew himself acknowledged it nung in-interview siya ni Jackie Redmond.
Yeah, I don't think he's really a hypocrite though, because did he extend an olive? Wait, hold on. Let me explain. Did he extend the olive branch to the bloodline? Sinabi mo niya kay Solo Sikoa, ito gawin natin, ha? Diba? No, he didn't do any of that. It just so happened that when the bloodline attacked, he was in a match with Cody Rhodes. And who is he to say no to an easy win? Diba? Kasi hipokrito siya pag sinabi niya, good job, bloodline. Magkakampi na tayo ngayon.
But he said it's okay. He said it was okay.
Yeah,
Kasi it happened, so it's okay. If he wasn't being a hypocrite,
he was not being you're calling him out for his hypocrisy kasi nag-benefit siya. Diba?
Oo nga.
But he was there. Ano gusto mo?
But he allowed it to he was okay with it.
Gawin yung sumbong niya sa referee.
Yeah, yes. Yes,
Did I
that's
ring the
exactly
bell?
what a non-hypocrite would do. That is what a non-hypocrite would do. He would turn away the bloodline and tell he would tell them, no, I don't want you to do what you did to me. Because, that's exactly why I went down this rabbit hole of despair. No, that is what
no,
a hypocrite...
sa akin, pag sinabi mo hypocrite siya,
so hypocrite siya,
dapat
is what
sa
you're saying.
bloodline. I'm not.
Okay.
I go to the bloodline.
I think we're not aligned.
Something that was
I
just
think we're
happened.
not aligned with what hypocrite actually means.
Just happened.
No, he allowed it to happen. He was okay with it. That's,
Hindi nangyari na eh. Sasabihin niya sa referee, gano'n.
Yeah.
Sumbong niya.
Yeah. No, actually, yes. I would actually, that's actually what I would do if I was not a hypocrite. I would do that if I were a wrestler.
Good for you. Hindi ka hypocrite, but I think he's a hypocrite.
Yeah. No, it's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. Oh, no. I'm just saying that is a definition of a hypocrite. I mean, the whole entire angle is them leveraging this definition of a hypocrite. I mean, that's the whole story. So you just denied what the story is.
I don't know, man. Ako hindi naman, sinapitan ba niya yung bloodline? Sinabi ba niya, let's contrive against Cody in this match? Let's plan and
you don't have to plan it to be a hypocrite. No, you don't have to plan it.
Shut up, Rowan.
That's what you're trying to say, though. Diba?
No, I'm saying that he was okay. I'm saying that he was okay with the exact same thing that happened to him at Clash at the Castle. He was okay with that. And he was not okay when it happened to him. Yeah, that's a definition of a hypocrite. And that is what the entire story is hinging on, the definition of a hypocrite.
But then he's already accepting the fact na nangyari na. Diba?
Which makes him a hypocrite. If he were not a hypocrite, he would get on the mic after the match and say, hey, Bloodline, hey, Solo, why did you do that? I already had him beat. or I was going down like a warrior.
And that would just
That's
turn
the
him, and I don't
that
know if that's like a sensible thing for him to do
that
now.
and that's why
Pag
that's why
nag-turn
they
siya,
did
so you
that.
rather
That's
see.
why they did that to further his heel character because he is a hypocrite. That is the storytelling. That is the characterization of the heel character. Can't believe I have to explain this.
I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah, you
I'm
don't
a, I'm
know.
a
That's the problem. You didn't
no,
know.
I don't think you can know na tama, Ro. Putang ina, ikaw na yung
Yes,
wrestling expert
that's right.
dito.
Yes.
Congratulations! Ikaw na
Yes,
yung
thank you.
pinakatama! Oh my God,
Yes.
dude!
Yeah.
Tangina.
Fuck yeah.
Kuha mo na yung
That's the
gusto
whole
mo.
thing. Oh. Yes. No, thank you for acknowledging me. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Oh my gosh.
Drew McIntyre is a hypocrite. That's no, I'm saying all seriousness. Eto talaga, this is what the entire story is hinging on. That's why they made a whole thing out of it on commentary, in the backstage interview, and the whole spot where Solo does the exact same thing to Cody while Drew was in it. That's the whole point. That's why they're telling the story. Jesus.
All
Just
right.
because you don't know what it means doesn't. Gee.
I know what a hypocrite means. It's just in my
Yeah.
opinion, hindi ko. But okay, good job. Ikaw, sige, alam mo yung expert ka sa lahat ng bagay.
Yes. Thank
Congratulations to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay na.
Yeah.
Okay na.
Thank you for acknowledging.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna let things simmer down a bit. People in the chat, I know you're enjoying it, so keep those comments coming. In the meantime, we're gonna set up for our predictions for Elimination Chamber Perth. But first, a quick word from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right. Before we get to our Elimination Chamber Perth predictions, itong si Emil nakikikantsaw dito sa comments. Great TV. You picked a great night to sit out because if you had joined us, then you probably wouldn't have said anything either, just like me and Rowan.
Oh.
All right, Elimination Chamber Perth predictions time. We already said it. It's happening on Saturday, so we hope you can join us for the viewing party over at Skinny Mike's. We've got 4 announced matches plus the Grayson Waller effect featuring Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins as the guests of one Grayson Waller. It's been a busy week actually for WWE in Australia. Today is the 3rd day of the tryouts that they have over there in Perth. So really interesting to see kung anong kalalabasan ng tryouts na yan, if they'll find the next Grayson Waller or the next Indy Hartwell. Hopefully, there's another Filipino-Australian wrestler out there somewhere na hindi pa natin kilala, na magiging kilala natin because of these tryouts, because they'll eventually make it to the Performance Center. We don't know. We'll find out in the next year or two. But we do have a premium live event to talk about. So we will start with the Tag Team Championship match. That's between the Judgment Day and New Catch Republic. So that is the new name of British Strong Style, a.k.a. the tag team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Sorry,
Rowan,
repeat that. Sorry, repeat that. What was the name?
New Catch Republic.
Tangina, dalawang catch fact. Dalawang grupo na may catch in their names.
Yeah, apparently. So they did this in a backstage segment ng SmackDown. They have, Tyler Bate said na, we'll call ourselves the New Catch Republic. And then Pete Dunne, in classic Pete Dunne fashion, shrugged his shoulders. And yun na yun. That is how they came up with the name. So yun, Rowan, who do you think will win this one?
As much as I love Bruiserbait or New Catch Republic, I'm picking the Judgment Day because the only way I can see them losing their belts is at WrestleMania. Pero, I think New Catch Republic is not yet ready for the tag titles, and maybe they will have to feud with an interfering team that will make them lose in this match. And I think that's gonna be Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Pretty deadly.
Okay.
Fuck, I forgot their name. Jeez.
All right. Ikaw, Chino, your prediction for this one.
Yeah, I don't think the Judgment Day, sorry, are dropping the titles during this PLE because they've built so much steam for them and they still have that R Truth thing going. So hindi pa tapos din yun, diba? I really think R Truth is going to have to cost them something big in order for that feud to close. That said, I also don't know how over Bait and Dunn are as a tag team. Diba sa atin as NXT fans, kilala natin sila. But to the wider wrestling audience, diba, it still takes a while. So I'll be very surprised if they drop the titles to the new Catch Republic.
Mm-hmm. Ano Ro? Unanimous ba tayo dito?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Good match for the good match. No big changes here. They're clearly saving the Judgment Day for something more. As somebody mentioned in the chat, that it's gonna be what, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome truth again for the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens spot for the second year in a row.
Why not? I mean, it worked last time. We could probably make it work again in 2024.
Yeah, no, I mean, they stumbled into it. So okay na naman. Like, yes, it's a copy paste, pero alam mo yun, if it works, our truth is over. So who are we to argue against that?
Yeah, R-Truth's making actual money in merch sales. Meron nga bumili ng R-Truth t-shirt dahil sa through our pasabay, diba? So it means something is working. Before we move on, yes, to confirm yung sinabi ni Martin in the chat, there is an Australian Survivor contestant who is part of the Perth tryouts. His name is Jaden Laing. He's not Filipino though, but that's his last name. He is
Laing?
Laing is his last name. He is part Samoan and Fijian.
See, Grayson Waller, wasn't he on Survivor?
Yes, but his tryout was like years ago. Yeah. So there. Let's get to our next match on the card. It's the Women's World Championship match. It is Mami versus Nia Jax. So are we going to see a sweep here for the Judgment Day, Rowan?
Yeah, it has to be Rhea. Kasi if Nia wins, gusto niyo bang magkagulo sa Optus Stadium? It has to be Rhea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Chino, magkakarayat daw ba pag nanalo si Nia Jax?
Okay, I think Nia wins. And here's why.
No, I'm not gonna fight this one. Go ahead.
No, I think Nia wins. Kasi, yes, okay. Masama tignan kasi natalo siya sa Australia. But I don't think they want to do a Becky Rhea matchup for Mania. I think they want to do a Nia Becky matchup for Mania kasi yun yung obstacle na hindi pa niya nako-conquer, diba? So it's very possible that Nia Jax, who is also part Samoan.
No, she's Australian.
Australian, see? Pwede din siyang manalo, right? And people won't get mad as if, say, another person beats Rhea, right? And then you got Becky in the chamber, who I'm solidly rooting for because that's also something she's never done before. And if we're all about handing out yung mga achievements na hindi pa nagagawa ng horsewomen that are active, diba? Bailey winning the Rumble, then Becky also deserves to win the chamber match and find herself in one of the main events for WrestleMania. So that's why I'm picking Nia Jax.
Yeah, to clarify lang for people asking, Nia is Australian by nationality. That means she was born there, but she doesn't have any Australian blood in her. So, technically, she is like in a way, in the same way Tim Tebow is technically Filipino because he was born in Manila. There's that. I was gonna say that I was gonna make a joke about Rhea losing in her home country, but Chino actually made a good point. Just so you know, and I don't fight him all the time. Chino does actually make a good point here, and that's one that I did not actually think about. For all intents and purposes, Becky versus Nia is still your women's version of the CM Punk versus Seth feud, the real life heat feud that they got. So now that he put it like that, I do actually want to see that shit. It will suck for Rhea kasi matatalo siya in Australia and she's like the biggest Australian star in the world right now. But, it's one of those things, and sometimes you do have to break that you have to break the egg to make the omelet. Yes, Rhea versus Becky is also going to be fun if that does happen. But I think the same way there's money in Punk versus Seth, diba? There's also money in Becky versus Nia.
Yeah, great points that you guys mentioned. Kasi, di ba, Raquel Rodriguez returned on Raw. As we segue natin, Jasper, to the Women's Chamber. Raquel's back. She won her way into the Chamber. And then Liv Morgan has also declared na meron pa rin siyang heat towards Rhea Ripley, di ba, in storyline. So, if you take Rhea away from the championship picture, it also opens her up to a feud with Raquel and or Liv heading into WrestleMania, given that these two specifically have it in for Mommy. So, I've actually been talked into it. I can't believe it. So, yeah.
At saka parang yung Judgment Day being attacked on all fronts just feeds the fuel to their breakup eh. Diba? Parang si Rhea busy dito sa dalawa and then there's the R-Truth problem. And then Priest has his money in the bank thing. Diba? So parang it adds, I feel like it adds more credence after.
Yeah. Great points all around. I love it. Okay, let's talk about the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup. The winner goes on to face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. So it's Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Naomi versus Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton. Oh, tanong muna ni Nico, bakit daw nandito si Tiffany Stratton? Why not?
Have you seen her do a moonsault and swanton bomb?
Her
moonsault is out there.
Her moonsault is actually the best moonsault ever. I don't care what Christopher Daniels calls it. It is not the best. It's hers.
Yeah.
My God.
No, we're not kidding. Tiffany Stratton is actually really good. One of the best homegrown performance center products. So
best non-wrestler products.
If you haven't seen a Tiffany Stratton match, go watch her matches with Becky Lynch. Sobrang mapapabilib ka. That alone should convince you of her worthiness to be in this position. Rowan, who do you think is coming out of the chamber?
Becky Lynch. She's the only girl here that I see believable to contend against Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Chino, Becky.
I'm sticking with Becky.
All right.
Yes. Becky.
Ro?
Liv Morgan. Joke lang. Yeah, Becky. I think Becky, ito na lang yung match na hindi na papanalo na. So,
yeah.
So it's that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to our main event, or our presumptive main event, the Men's Elimination Chamber match. Winner goes on to face Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Yeah. Rowan, who you got?
It has to be Drew. The SmackDown stars being involved here is pampagulo lang. Although, it makes me overthink na if one of the SmackDown stars win, parang and then Cody from Raw winning the Championship, magkaroon ng title switch or like mag-switch sila ng brand. Although that's a possibility, pampagulo lang yun. So I'd like to think that it has to be Drew because again, like Becky, legitimate contender si Drew, and maybe when Drew wins the title at Mania, somewhere down the line, Punk will return and then they will have the feud.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino.
Logan Paul.
I was gonna say that.
No, it's Drew. It's Drew. They built Drew up so much over the past few weeks. It has to be him. I don't see anybody else being as viable as Drew.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ro.
Alam mo yun, the thing with Drew is that we still don't know what his contract status is. I think.
Does it matter though?
Yes and no. I guess it matters to WrestleMania if he does actually win the thing. But I guess you can also argue that everything, like this entire push, is them trying to get him to re-sign, diba? So I guess you can argue that. But it's also one of those things that why waste it if you're not sure. Pero it's also a nice departure, I guess, from how Vince used to think na okay, kung di ka na babalik, GG ka na, wala na kaming gagawin for with you, diba? For you. So yeah, all signs are pointing to Drew. Like you do want to get the Seth match. This is one of those like backup ways to get a championship match at this point now after if you don't win the Rumble, diba? Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's the easy pick. A lot of this entire 4-match card is a lot of easy picks, but it's a testament to how well they've been leading us uh, to the chapters of the story that they want us to get to. And at this point, if that's not what they do, if that's not what they give us, it's going to be really frustrating. So yeah, I'm with you guys in picking Drew.
I
It's
think
also
we're
a
also
way
gonna
for
get
Drew.
set up.
Sorry,
Oh, say it. Yeah.
it's also a way for Drew to mock CM Punk by hopping over the barricade and blow the kiss goodbye, and then he will leave with the title.
Actually,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, that's not a bad idea either. To do the spring of Drew.
Oh. Ito, maganda minention ni Mac. I was actually gonna say that the Chamber could also very well set up LA Knight versus Logan Paul, di ba? Kasi yun yung rumor din for WrestleMania. Di pa rin natin alam, syempre, ano yung plans nila for the US Championship and for LA Knight come WrestleMania. One more pick for the PLE, since nasabi nga natin na Grayson Waller will be hosting his talk show featuring Cody and Seth. Who does Grayson Waller face in an impromptu match? So we've seen him get physical after hosting the Grayson Waller effect with John Cena, di ba, nung Money in the Bank. So ito, Grayson Waller is from Sydney. They're in Australia. Grayson's probably gonna be fighting with someone. Sino mga kalaban niya?
It's weird
Crocodile.
to it's weird to have a PLE in 2024 na hindi nag-wrestling si Cody. So I'm gonna say that Cody gets the match for the quote unquote house show pop.
Mm-hmm.
Pwede. Cody is also a good choice. I was actually going to say, this is medyo bobo, but I'm going to say that The Rock comes out here. Because there were rumors back then that
Oh, yeah.
they
Pala.
promised The Rock for Australia. So I don't know how viable those rumors are and kung dito nga siya lalabas. But this seems like the only way they can fit somebody like The Rock in, diba? Without having an announced match.
Mm-hmm. Rowan.
A crocodile. I don't know. It could be anybody. Pero most likely...
Dalawa nga yung choices mo eh. They already
Yeah,
have
it
the
has to be
choices
Cody.
there.
Yeah, it has to be Cody.
Okay.
All right. So there. Let us know what you think about your predictions. You know where to find us. It is at Wrestling2XPod on Twitter and on TikTok. So, yun, relatively short itong half na to ng episode. That's because we've got a very lean and mean card for Elimination Chamber. O sige, bago tayo matapos, sagutin natin itong tanong ni Marco. What do you guys think about Goldust coming out to help Cody at WrestleMania? That's probably not happening, bro, because he's signed to AEW.
Yep.
Pero ito may naisip akong concept sa WrestleMania na it's gonna be like Cody's entrance in All In na lalabas sila DDP, Pharaoh, probably even QT. Basta yung parang pampa-even up. Well, Seth is pampa-even up the odds na against the Bloodline. So it doesn't really make sense anymore.
Okay, thank you for your input.
Like how he had the point and then he just dropped the point.
I know. I didn't know where it was going, but okay.
Good job.
Yeah. No. To add to the whole, to add to the whole AEW, to the whole Goldust is signed to AEW thing. Normally, it's one of those things. Okay, will a normal booker would think about loaning the guy's brother for a big spot at the big show. But this is Tony Khan. He is taking the WWE personally, and never in his wildest dreams will he aid his biggest rival in their biggest show, in their biggest match of the year. So baka nakalimutan mo, Marco, na nasa AEW si Dustin Rhodes. So yun na. That's all the answer that you need to know.
I think if anything, kung mananalo man si Cody Rhodes, they're just gonna do like a cheap shot during a promo sa AEW.
Yeah.
Like some sneaky reference. Because they've done that before.
Yeah. Lou, I don't know if you've heard, but Ted DiBiase Jr. is also dealing with some legal shit. So I'm not sure he can back Cody up either.
Si Damian Sandow, baka pwede pa.
Pwede pa.
Bring back
or
the
si
Rhodes
Hardcore Holly.
Scholars.
Hardcore Holly. Do ya?
The ghosts of Cody's past.
Damian Sandow.
Lahat ng mga naging tag team partner niya. Matt Capitelli. Oh shit, wala na pala.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna bring out all of his old tag team partners, Drew dapat, but Drew is a
You're
heel,
really
so.
thinking about bringing Manu up against Roman Reigns? You remember what a family Manu is a part of? Manu Ginobili pwede pa, pero Manu, the former Legacy member, y'all forget
Ayun,
what
the
family
Ascension
he's
daw.
from?
Oh, nandun
Ascension
siya sa
daw.
family tree, dude. What the hell? Yeah, this will be a fun road to WrestleMania, especially with our little peanut gallery.
Stephen
over
Amell.
Stephen Amell.
Yun pwede pa, yun.
Ah,
Diba?
pwede.
I mean, Stephen Amell had ringside seats nung 39. So
Yeah.
that's actually within the realm of possibility. If you want Cody's Avengers to come together, diba? With Seth being like the Captain America, yun, Stephen Amell could probably be part of that crew.
T-Pain.
Okay, Rowan.
I'll shut up now.
Yes, please. All right, as we get down to the end of the podcast, let's get some plugs. Chino, what is going on your end?
Okay, so surprise, surprise, that Last Down podcast is back. Starting with my first episode tomorrow featuring Muman Reyes. He's one of the cool pals and he started a new career as an artist and a woodworker. And basically, it sets the theme for the rest of the season where I just talk to comedians. Why? Because it's easier to book comedians than celebrities. So listen to the first episode coming out tomorrow on all your social media and podcast platforms. Also, I'm doing a show this Saturday with Muman Reyes and GB Labrador at Hobby Stadium. It's right after the viewing party at Skinny Mike's. So pwedeng pang humabol. It's called Comedy Playground. Tickets are available at www.comedymanila.ph. Also, lastly, I started putting out sets, comedy material on YouTube again. So just check that out as well. I have my most recent set from San Francisco when I was there over the Christmas season up on my YouTube. It's youtube.com/chino-liao.
All right. Ikaw, Rowan, anything happening on your end?
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon so that mababasa nyo yung review namin. Oh, and by the way, Chino has joined
Oh, yeah, yun nga pala. Yeah.
sa review. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
writing TNA.
Yeah, let's see how long that lasts. Jesus.
So yeah, lahat halos kami. 4/5 of us is writing reviews. Subscribe to our Patreon so that mabasa nyo yan lahat. Pinaghihirapan namin yan. Yeah, thank you very much.
Ro?
Yeah, ano pala, before we talk about my stuff, Gina brought it up. So, Hobby Stadium is also doing an Elimination Chamber watch party. So, they're also our friends, they're also our partners. So, if you live in the QC area, kung mas malapit ka sa New Manila, they are also doing a watch party. Same time, this is just before China's show. So, I believe the tickets are at 300 pesos. I'm not sure if there's anything free with it.
May
But,
libre
if that's...
iced tea, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
If that's hard, if that's easier for you to get to, please do support them as well. They're our great friends, and they also just want to share the love of wrestling with all of you guys. So please do check that out kung mas accessible din sa inyo. Anyway, WrestleStorm is coming up in almost a month, a little over a month away. All you got to do is head to dexcon.helixpay.ph, dexcon.helixpay, helixpay.ph to get your tickets. You can get for one day, either Saturday, the meet and greet day, or the Sunday show, or get the 2-day show package para sulit na sulit yung tickets mo. Myself and Main Max are reuniting as the Gemini Kings to face TZK, Ken Cypher versus Ken Cypher and SJM for their WW Tag Team Championships, and the show will be main evented by Oro Plata Mata, Stan's Boys JDL, and David Ravena, that guy, versus the Calamari Drunken Kings, and it's gonna be a fun time. May paparating pa raw na ibang wrestler na hindi natin alam, so please stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun show.
Si Manu.
Si Manu.
Kaya hindi siya pwede sa WrestleMania kasi nasa WrestleCon siya.
Yeah.
WrestleStorm.
WrestleStorm. Yeah, and MWF is also returning for this year with Kasaysayan on April 14. Tickets are available at tickettome.net. Tajiri and his boys from Kyushu Pro Wrestling are coming over. If you want to see more Japanese wrestlers, please go check that out. Ano naman, mga 2 weeks apart naman from the two shows. So may time kayo para mag-recover.
Tsaka nagbebenta na rin yung MWF ng meet and greet passes. So if you want to
Yes.
get any merch signed or if you want to have a moment to just interact with your favorite MWF or Kyushu Pro wrestlers, then go give the meet and greet passes a go. They're also available on tickettome.net. One last plug here for... Actually, I forgot that last plug, so scratch that. Yun. We're going to see you there. We're going to see you there at these local wrestling events that we're going to be having for the next few weeks. After the Elimination Chamber viewing party, we will announce details for the WrestleMania XL viewing party. And because it is the largest WrestleMania of all time, we're going to do it big as well. Adore, Ali, yung meet and greet applies for kasaysayan lang. So I believe they're selling separate meet and greet passes per event. All right? For more questions, just go to MWF. Yun, naalala ko na. Go support Fabio Makisig and Jomar in their quest to go to Japan by September. Please donate. I know times are hard for all of us, but if you have a little bit to spare, we hope you can contribute to the cause. Kasi iba pa rin to actually go to Japan and be trained by Japanese wrestlers like Tajiri, like everyone else in the Kyushu Pro scene. So go ahead and support their cause. It is a worthy cause because we do want more Filipino wrestlers to be more legitimized in their training. Tsaka madadala rin nila yan dito sa Pinas and hopefully mapass on to the next generation of Filipino wrestlers. So please do support. For all details, go check out Fabio Makisig's Facebook page. That's going to do it for the podcast. Thank you to everybody who joined us, everyone in the comment section. Sana nag-enjoy kayo sa lahat ng bangayan, lahat ng usapan natin about wrestling. We will see you this Saturday at the Elimination Chamber Perth viewing party, and we'll also catch you on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform for the audio-only versions of these episodes. Episode 700 will be the bonus audio-only that we'll be recording in a bit, so thank you to everyone for all of your support over the last 10 years and counting. This has been another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. Thank you very much to Babyface producer Jasper and all the other producers at the Pod Network for the work that they do behind the scenes. Go follow us individually at Chino Supersized, at Row is War, at Monday Night Rowan, at EML_Meister, and at _Stan C. On behalf of Emil Nate, who's not here tonight, Rowan ASH, Chino Liao, Ro Moran, my name is Stan C, saying stay safe, stay healthy, and don't be a dick. Later, Outcasts!